9 signs your study habits affect your cognitive health. Have you ever wondered why some study sessions leave you sharp and confident, while others make you feel scattered, stressed, or forgetful? The way you study in your teens and 20s doesn't just affect your grades. It shapes your brain's health and cognitive resilience for years to come. Poor study habits can weaken memory, reduce focus, and even increase your risk of cognitive decline later in life. Your brain is like a muscle, and how you train it now sends clear signals about its future strength. In this article, we're exploring 9 signs, backed by research from Nature Neuroscience and the American Psychological Association (APA), that reveal how your study habits are impacting your cognitive health. These aren't random observations. They're patterns seen in students whose study practices either boost or harm their brain's potential. By the end, you'll know what to look for in your own habits, what changes to make, and how to study smarter to protect your mind. Stay with us until the end, because you might be overlooking small behaviors that could have a massive impact on your cognitive future. Let's dive in. Sign 1. Poor focus during study sessions. One of the clear signs your study habits are affecting your cognitive health is struggling to focus without distractions. A 2021 study in Nature Neuroscience found that constant interruptions, like checking social media, reduce information retention and weaken the brain's ability to process and store knowledge efficiently. Distractions overload your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus and decision-making. Consider 2 freshmen, Ryan and Sophie, both 18. Sophie studies in a quiet space, phone off, and dives deep into her notes, retaining key concepts with ease. Ryan, however, studies with his phone buzzing, scrolling through social media every few minutes. He feels like he's multitasking, but he forgets half of what he reads and struggles on tests. Sophie's focused habits are strengthening her brain's efficiency, while Ryan's distractions are taxing his cognitive resources, potentially harming long-term focus. If you can't study for 20 minutes without checking your phone or daydreaming, it's a sign your brain is under strain. Distractions don't just waste time. They disrupt neural pathways critical for learning. To improve, create a distraction-free zone. Silence your phone. Use apps like Forest to block notifications, and set a timer for focused study blocks. Start with 25-minute sessions and gradually increase. Ask yourself, can you focus deeply when you study, or are distractions stealing your attention? Sharpening your focus now builds a stronger brain for life. Sign 2. Cramming for exams. Relying on last-minute cramming is a red flag that your study habits are stressing your brain. A 2020 study in learning and memory showed that cramming overloads the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for forming long-term memories, leading to poor retention and cognitive strain. Spaced, consistent studying, on the other hand, strengthens neural connections over time. Picture 2 sophomores, Emma and Lucas, both 21. Lucas reviews material weekly, using flashcards and practice questions to reinforce concepts gradually. He feels prepared and recalls information easily during exams. Emma, however, crams the night before, staying up late to memorize facts. She passes her tests but forgets the material soon after, and the stress leaves her exhausted. Lucas's steady habits support his brain's memory networks, while Emma's cramming risks cognitive overload and burnout. Cramming might get you through an exam, but it harms your brain's ability to retain knowledge and increases stress, which can damage neurons over time. To break the cycle, study in small chunks daily. Review notes for 15 minutes each evening or quiz yourself on key terms. Use active recall, like explaining concepts aloud, to cement memories. If you're a chronic crammer, plan your study schedule a week in advance to spread out the work. Check yourself. Do you study consistently, or do you cram at the last minute? Your brain thrives on steady effort, not frantic marathons. If you're finding these insights valuable, comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. Let's keep going. Sign 3. Low sleep due to late-night studying. Cutting sleep to study is one of the worst habits for your cognitive health. A 2022 study in sleep found that sleep deprivation impairs memory consolidation, reduces focus, and weakens the brain's ability to clear toxins, increasing the risk of cognitive decline over time. Sleep is when your brain processes and stores what you've learned, making it non-negotiable for learning. Imagine two roommates, Noah and Mia, both 19. Mia prioritizes sleep, studying early and getting 7 to 8 hours each night. She wakes up refreshed, her mind sharp for classes and exams. Noah, however, pulls all-nighters, studying until 3 a.m. and surviving on 4 hours of sleep. He feels foggy, forgets key details, and struggles to concentrate. Mia's sleep habits are strengthening her brain's memory circuits, while Noah's lack of rest is harming his cognitive health. Skimping on sleep doesn't just hurt your grades. It starves your brain of the rest it needs to function and grow. To protect your cognitive health, aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep nightly. Create a study schedule that ends at least 2 hours before bedtime, and avoid screens to promote melatonin production. If you're tempted to stay up late, remind yourself that sleep is study time for your brain. Test yourself. Are you getting enough sleep? Or are late nights cutting into your rest? Prioritizing sleep now builds a sharper mind for the future. Sign 4. Multitasking while studying. Juggling multiple tasks, like texting or watching videos while studying, undermines your cognitive health. A 2021 study in the Journal of Cognitive Psychology found that multitasking reduces learning quality, increases mental fatigue, and stresses the brain's attention networks, leading to poorer retention and weaker problem-solving skills. Take two juniors, Jake and Sarah, both 22. Sarah studies with focus, closing all apps and silencing her phone to concentrate on her textbooks. She absorbs material quickly and performs well on assignments. Jake, however, texts friends, checks emails, and listens to a podcast while studying. He feels productive but struggles to recall details and takes longer to complete tasks. Sarah's single tasking strengthens her brain's efficiency, while Jake's multitasking scatters his cognitive resources. Multitasking doesn't make you more efficient. It fragments your attention and weakens your brain's ability to process information deeply. To improve, practice single tasking. Focus on one subject at a time and set specific goals for each study session. Use the Pomodoro technique, 25 minutes of focused work followed by a 5-minute break, to stay on track. If you catch yourself multitasking, pause and eliminate distractions. Ask yourself, do you study with full attention, or are you juggling tasks? Your brain performs best when it's fully engaged. If you're still with me, comment number 4 below to show you're following along. Let's move on. Sign 5. Studying without breaks. Pushing through long study sessions without breaks is a recipe for mental fatigue and reduced cognitive performance. According to a 2023 APA report, studying without pauses causes burnout, impairs focus, and weakens memory retention by overloading the brain's working memory capacity. Regular breaks refresh your mind and boost learning efficiency. Consider two classmates, Liam and Chloe, both 20. Chloe studies in 50-minute blocks, taking 10-minute breaks to stretch, hydrate, or walk. She returns to her work energized and retains information well. Liam, however, studies for 3 hours straight, ignoring his growing exhaustion. By the end, he's zoning out, making mistakes, and feeling overwhelmed. Chloe's breaks support her brain stamina, while Liam's marathon sessions risk cognitive burnout. Studying without breaks doesn't make you more productive. It exhausts your brain and reduces the quality of your learning. To stay sharp, use a timer to take a 5, 10-minute break every 45 to 60 minutes. During breaks, move around, do light stretches, or step outside for fresh air. Avoid screens, as they don't let your brain rest. If you feel guilty about pausing, remember that breaks enhance retention. Check yourself. Do you take regular breaks, or do you grind through fatigue? Giving your brain a breather is key to cognitive health. Sign 6. Chronic stress from study pressure. Chronic stress from overwhelming study demands can damage your cognitive health. A 2020 study in psychoneuroendocrinology found that high cortisol levels from stress harm neurons in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, impairing memory, focus, and emotional regulation. Constant pressure from deadlines or exams can erode your brain's resilience. Picture two high school seniors, Alex and Emma, both 17. Emma manages stress with deep breathing and a balanced schedule, staying calm during test prep. She feels confident and performs well under pressure. Alex, however, panics over every deadline, staying up late and worrying about grades. His stress makes it hard to focus, and he forgets material during exams. Emma's stress management protects her brain, while Alex's chronic stress is damaging his cognitive health. Unmanaged stress doesn't just affect your mood. It physically alters your brain, weakening its ability to learn and adapt. To reduce stress, practice mindfulness techniques like meditation or journaling for 5 minutes daily. Break tasks into smaller steps to avoid feeling overwhelmed, and talk to a friend or counselor if pressure builds. If you're constantly stressed about studying, reassess your workload and prioritize self-care. Ask yourself, do you handle study stress well, or does it consume you? Keeping stress in check is crucial for a healthy brain. If you're finding this valuable, comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. 3 more to go. Sign 7. Low curiosity in learning. Studying just to pass exams, without genuine curiosity, limits your brain's growth. A 2021 study in educational psychology found that intrinsic motivation, learning for interest rather than grades, enhances brain engagement, strengthens neural connections, and boosts cognitive resilience. Curiosity fuels deeper learning and a healthier mind. Imagine 2 grad students, Noah and Sophie, both 24. Sophie loves diving into her subject, asking questions, and exploring topics beyond the syllabus. Her curiosity keeps her brain active and her learning robust. Noah, however, memorizes just enough to pass, with no real interest in the material. He feels bored and forgets what he learns quickly. Sophie's curiosity is strengthening her cognitive health, while Noah's lack of engagement is stunting his brain's potential. Studying without curiosity turns learning into a chore, reducing the brain's ability to form lasting memories. To spark interest, connect your studies to real-world applications, watch documentaries, join discussion groups, or explore related hobbies. Ask why or how about your topics to ignite curiosity. If you're studying only for grades, try finding one aspect of the material that intrigues you. Check yourself. Are you excited to learn, or just checking boxes? A curious mind is a thriving mind. Sign 8. Poor diet during study sessions. What you eat while studying directly affects your cognitive health. A 2022 study in nutritional neuroscience found that diets high in junk food, sugary snacks, chips, or soda impair brain function, reduce focus, and increase inflammation, which harms memory and learning. Nutrient-rich foods, conversely, fuel your brain for optimal performance. Take 2 freshmen, Ryan and Mia, both 19. Mia snacks on nuts, fruit, and dark chocolate while studying, keeping her mind sharp and energy steady. Ryan, however, munches on chips and energy drinks, thinking they'll keep him alert. He feels jittery, crashes after an hour, and struggles to concentrate. Mia's healthy diet supports her brain's clarity, while Ryan's junk food habits are clouding his cognitive health. A poor diet during study sessions doesn't just affect your energy. It starves your brain of nutrients needed for learning and memory. To fuel your mind, choose brain-boosting foods like blueberries, salmon, or whole-grain crackers with hummus. Avoid sugary snacks and processed foods, which cause energy spikes and crashes. Keep hydrated with water, not soda, to stay focused. If you're eating junk while studying, swap one snack for a healthier option this week. Ask yourself, are you feeding your brain well, or relying on junk food? Your diet shapes your cognitive future. If you're still here, comment number 8 below to show you're engaged. 1 more to go. Sign 9. Minimal exercise during study periods. A sedentary lifestyle while studying can harm your cognitive health. A 2020 study in the Journal of Exercise Science found that physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, boosting memory, focus, and neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. Without exercise, your brain misses out on these benefits, risking cognitive decline. Picture 2 seniors, Jake and Liam, both 23. Liam takes study breaks to jog or do yoga, returning to his desk refreshed and alert. His brain gets the oxygen and nutrients it needs to learn effectively. Jake, however, sits for hours, studying without moving. He feels stiff, foggy, and struggles to retain information. Liam's active habits are enhancing his cognitive health, while Jake's sedentary routine is limiting his brain's potential. Minimal exercise doesn't just affect your body. It starves your brain of the stimulation it needs to thrive. To boost cognitive health, aim for 150 minutes of moderate exercise weekly, like brisk walking, cycling, or dancing. Even short bursts, 10 minutes of jumping jacks or a quick walk, can recharge your brain during study sessions. If you're glued to your desk, set a timer to move every hour. Test yourself. Do you exercise regularly while studying, or are you mostly sedentary? Moving your body strengthens your mind. Final thoughts. Now that you've explored these 9 signs, reflect on your study habits. Are you focusing deeply, studying consistently, sleeping well, single tasking, taking breaks, managing stress, staying curious, eating well, and moving your body? Or are you noticing red flags like distractions, cramming, sleep loss, multitasking, fatigue, stress, disinterest, junk food, or inactivity? The good news is that your brain is adaptable, and small changes to your habits can yield big cognitive rewards. Don't wait for poor grades or burnout to act. Start with one improvement. Silence your phone, study in small chunks, prioritize sleep, or take a walk during breaks. If stress or focus issues persist, talk to a counselor or academic advisor for support. Your study habits today are shaping your brain for decades to come, so make them count. Comment number 18 below to share your thoughts or which sign hit home. Let's stay connected. Here's to studying smarter and building a stronger, healthier mind.